Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made my own proxy cards. If you guys know this is a brand new card that's not even out yet, but I made it for the first time last night. First time ever doing proxy cards, and I also made a bunch of Spider-Man cards. This is double-sided, but I don't want to flip it right now. But there's some Spider-Man cards that I forgot to print last night, so that's gonna be what I'm gonna use to show you guys how to make them. Now, if you want like a more like real in-depth tutorial, I recommend watching Cry. He was literally the only reason why I knew about proxies, and he had the best tutorial video. Like, it was very easy to follow. So I'm gonna show you guys what to do. So first off, if you want to make the cards, Proxy is your best bet. So see here, these are the settings. I do put the distance at 1, and then the width also at 1. That's what Cry does. Now here you can search it up. So let's say I want one, I guess just Eddie Brock. Sorry, fetch cards. There we go. So there's the card, and then if I click on it, it gives me alternates, and as you can see, that's the back side of the card. This is the front, that's the card I made. So if you want both, and if you didn't type, you can do like 2 time and then the thing. I didn't do that, but if you didn't do that, you can just hit duplicate and then boom. Usually what you want is you want 9 cards on 1 page. You just want to fill up the page so that we're not wasting paper and stuff. So if you wanted to have this, all you would do is click export to PDF. And once you do, it'll make a PDF. So I already have my Spider-Man card PDF. So it'll say something else, but I renamed it to Spider-Man card so I know. So then when I click that, there we go. So the cards I'm missing was actually on page 4. These ones I didn't print for some reason last night. They didn't show up, so I'm gonna try to do that today, but here they are. So all you would do, you have your printer. If you have to buy a new one, set it up first. Once it's all set up and able to your computer, you would click obviously the print thing. You see mine's on there. I go on more settings, make sure these are correct. You want to make sure your scale's at 100%, and for me, since I'm on a Mac, I have to do this. This brings me to my actual printer settings, and when I go to preferences, here is where you would customize here. I already made a print profile for my MTG, so this is what the normal specs are. You don't want that, you'd want this. Because I'm using inkjet paper, I want my quality to be high. Always do letter. This, scaling 100%, right? And you would just click OK once you dialed in all those settings. But if you didn't have a preference, all you do is, again, you just go here, click inkjet high or whatever, maybe yours is better quality. Make sure yours is on letter 8.5 by 11. Make it obviously in color, copies 1, you know, all that. And then when you're ready, you would click, apply and print. Another thing I forgot to mention, make sure your printer is the same setting as what you want to print. So if you have mine, you would click settings, or maybe if you have your own, you would try to find the same thing. Make sure to see paper type is on inkjet. Now if you have this printer, if you get the exact same one, if you don't use the third-party ink cartridges, you have to put other glossy as your paper type. So this is the third-party one that he recommended. That's why I said go to his page, he'll have everything you need. So with these ones, you'd make it inkjet, but inside these are actually the original ink cartridges. So these aren't the ones I'm using right now. But if you were using these ones, you would do other glossy for them. And then you also got to make sure your setting on thing here is letter. Gotta make sure inkjet paper and letter are for your paper type and paper size. And once you have that set up, it should be good. So now I just gotta load in some paper. So but see, I already have paper in there, perfect. And you see they're face down, the holographic is on this side. You want it faced down. And then you just put it back in. And then when this pops up, you want to say no, because it's going to want to change your settings. So I'm going to say no. So now that I'm ready to print, I'm going to apply and print. Now, this is going to take a minute, so I'll come back once the printing is done. Alright, so as you can see, the paper is about to come out. And that's why I pulled my little tray out. You want to make sure you have that so it catches it. And once it comes out, I will explain the next step. Alright, so when it comes out the printer, you don't want to touch the top because it's fresh. So you just want to hold it by the corners. Put on a nice flat surface, and boom, there you go. So now we have to wait for this to kind of dry because it's going to be really wet from all the ink. So this will lead us to the next process because we have to laminate this paper. And so when it's time for me to laminate, sometimes I use the blower because this is meant to get rid of particles so that nothing gets stuck on your paper when you're about to laminate it, because the last thing you need are bubbles. So this, sometimes I use it just to dry this a bit faster if I don't want to wait as long, like especially if I'm printing a lot of things at once. So basically once this is dry, I'm gonna grab one of my, but here you got your laminating paper, your pouches, that's what they're called. And all you would do is once it's ready to go, usually you want 2 papers. So like if I had, for example, let me show you with these since I'm waiting for those to dry. I think this will be easier. So if I have 2 pages ready, all I would do is grab one and grab the other. And I would line them up. Again, holding the sides, you gotta think this, imagine if it was freshly printed. And either way, even if they aren't, you don't want to mess up the actual front. So you basically line them up and you put it down. Line the paper in the laminator. It's not gonna be perfect right now, but you have to make sure they are, and you gotta leave some room on the side. So you wanna make sure it's good enough room, right? And you have the other side facing out, which I'll show you. So this is when you wanna blow, make sure nothing's in it. You basically keep doing this as you're pulling the paper down so that you're blowing all the particles off as you're closing so nothing goes in it, and then you flip it around because you have this side also facing out, and you do the exact same thing. Lift, blow the top off, make sure there's nothing on it, and then slowly close as you're blowing the air to make sure no particles are in it. And then this would be a fully ready thing to laminate. And so when that's ready, we got the laminator. It's already plugged in, so that lets you know the power's on. So with the specific pouches I have, again, I will put links in my description of what I'm using, but I will put Cry's video underneath this as well because, again, he has way better in-depth video. But you would click 6mm because that's the type that works best for those pouches. So it'll beep again like you heard once it's ready. See, once you hear that beep, it's ready to go. So now, hard part is gonna be trying to do this with one hand because you need to keep it stable. You just feed it through the middle, and you're gonna feel it catch. And once you do, there it goes, it caught. So I'm just gonna keep it elevated, and you're gonna have to catch it from the other side. I can't really show it, but it's coming out right now. You can kind of see right there. All I'm doing is, it's gonna be hot, so you want to hold the edges. Catch it so it stays straight, like that. Holding it. I'm not pulling it or anything. I'm just simply guiding my hand with it. Uh-oh. The laminator is too far back. Definitely don't do what I just did, which was have the laminator not have enough room. I put it too close to the wall, so now it messed me up, so I just leaned it closer now. But yeah, you basically just want to catch it. So now it is laminated, it is hot. It cools down very quickly. Like now it's touchable. But I mean, as soon as it's coming out, it's a little bit hot. So now that this is ready, it's cutting time. There are guidelines already put on this. Those little green things. So basically you want to cut on that green line on both sides. So that's where you're gonna cut from. What I'm doing is I'm cutting these laminating edges off first, so I can be able to get to my sticker paper and put this on cardstock. Now if you had 2 pages, you're also cutting those corners so you can split the 2 pages, and they're both laminated and so they can both stick on cardstock. But since I only did 1, I don't have to worry about that, but I need to cut the edges to be able to get access to my sticker paper. So that's what we're doing right now. This is the best I can do. That's why I said watch Card Cries. You will see how he gets up close and personal with the camera angle so you can understand how to do it. So right now I'm just cutting this to get the sticker paper accessible to me. So nice cut. Nice clean cuts. Now, this is where you want to take your time to make sure everything is aligned and that you're not over cutting anything. Because the last thing you need is to mess up and have to reprint everything, and that's never fun to redo a whole process. Because my cutter sucks. It sounds so loud for no reason, right? But so see, now I just cut the edges more now compared to before. I should have access to my sticker side. So with that, you grab your cardstock. Ba-bam. Cardstock. You get a corner to peel off. Do that first try. You see, there's the sticker. You simply just peel it. Don't peel it all the way. We're only stopping right about there, pushing down and doing that. The reason why we do this, you should either do it like this, or me, I somehow weirdly do it better like this. I hold it up, I hold it from the bottom to kind of even up where I want it. Then when I have it where I like, I just simply hold down in the middle and I put the sticker, the top part that sticks, right? So now it's on there. Then I grab from the bottom, and you hold it here, you support, and you simply just guide it exactly where you want it. There's some laminate still on there. There we go. Then you just, make sure it's stuck. And I left a lot of wiggle room, so I'm gonna cut a lot off. So there you go, it's on the cardstock. Now it's ready to be cut. So like I said, I'm aiming for like these little green lines. Those are your guidelines. So we're cutting in 3 sections right now. The camera's probably gonna fall again, but all I'm doing is lining it up. And like I said, take your time. It's not gonna be perfect if you're rushing. And even still, it's never gonna be 100% perfect. You are a human being. That I'm showing. So see, I cut them all in 3s. So now I'm gonna just individually cut all the excess off. There you go. So during this process, when you're doing a lot of cards and cutting, play a movie, watch some videos, play music, because you're gonna be here for a minute if you're printing a lot of cards, waiting for it to print, cutting cards while you're printing, laminating, So boom, here is a finished card before rounding them. So you see how the green, let me show you on the other way. So you see how I cut those original green pieces that were there? So if I show you a card that still has them, you see? That's basically where I'm cutting, is the line there meeting where the green was at. So see, I didn't perfectly cut some of these, but the corner rounder is going to finish them off. You want to use the one that says small on it. So it says SML, so small, medium, large. Go on the small side, feed it in there, and you would push usually twice, and see, there's the rounded corner as opposed to the pointed edge. And you just do that for all 4 sides. and there's your card. That's it. So all you gotta do is find the cards online, whether on Proxy or I forgot to show you the other website, Architect. You can search a deck you want. So for example, if you want an actual deck, let's show that. So if you go to Architect, you know, MTG Builder, I already made a card, but you would just search it here. So let's say I want, I don't know, zombies. If you want to find good ones, you want to change updated at to views and hit search decks. And you want to look for the ones that are the most recent. See, this one's like 45 hours ago. So that has the most recent cards. You know, you don't want to be looking for stuff that's like 3 years old and stuff. So you would click it if you want this one. If you like how it looks, all you would do is hit extras if you want this one and click export deck. And you don't want click off on this because usually people have extra cards that aren't actually a part of the deck. It's just kind of like maybe cards. You don't want to put that. Just uncheck it until you'll have this. Make sure this is on text. And then this, you want to make sure you hit uncheck all because see, these are all checked. Uncheck all, so you have example card, that's what you want. And then that's it, and then you would click copy, and then you would go to NPC project. It would say like enter the editor room, you would do that. You would click add cards, click text, and you would simply just paste the ones you just copied, boom. And then you would click submit, and it'll load all the cards from that deck. And if you want to change the print, you would just click that. I'll do it again, I kind of did that fast. There's a little option right here that gives you different art styles. And you would search for the one that you would like. This one has freaking Moon Knight zombies, holy shit, I've never seen that. And boom, I'd put that there, I'd be like, I want that card. So maybe I want this one. And that's it, and then when you're done, all you would do is you would click select all and download images. It'll download them all, and once you've downloaded them all, it'll be in your downloads. It would show up here, and then you would copy all those, select all cards, and put them in your own folder. And then you would head to Proxy Print Setup, and you would add those images from the folder, and it will create the grid that you saw from Proxy, but this one's own version, it will make a grid like this. And once you do that, you would set it up to print because it'll be downloaded as a PDF, and you'd want these settings. I think bleed edge is supposed to be 1. Yeah, do that. And then it'll print a PDF, and you will have your PDF. And that's all you gotta do, and then you do what I said. It'll show you a PDF like this. You would click your print option, do what I showed it earlier, and you're done. And you have done cards. I just made it right here for you. That's all you gotta do. Nice, clean card. All the green bleed edges are gone. Beautiful, 10 out of 10. And you learn something new every day. Getting into MTG is expensive, whether you are making cards or buying the actual cards. Making the cards is way cheaper than always just buying real ones. So, look at that, I got the whole Spider-Man deck for free. So, for free. That's my girl math, you know? So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.